नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं बालाजी। वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। दोस्तों, अगर आप इस चैनल पर नए हो तो पहले प्लीज़ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि आप मेरा कोई भी इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियो फ्यूचर में मिस ना करें। तो चलिए दोस्तों, इस वीडियो में मैं एक बेसिक बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक डिस्कस करने वाला हूँ। The topic is from grammar, and the topic name is, as you can see on the screen on the board, sentence, phrase and clause. कई बार कई बच्चों को समझ में नहीं आता है कि what exactly is a sentence, what exactly is a clause and what exactly is a phrase. तो ये तीनों में क्या अंतर होता है, क्या फर्क होता है? In other words, how to identify whether a particular group of words is a sentence or phrase or clause. तो कैसे हम उनको रिकॉग्नाइज करें कि ये सेंटेंस है या फिर ये क्लॉज है या फ्रेज है? तो इस बात पर मैं अभी आज चर्चा करने वाला हूँ। तो दोस्तों, वीडियो के अंत तक बने रहिए ताकि आप ये कंसेप्ट अच्छी तरह से और आसानी से और कंप्लीटली समझ सके। ओके, तो पहले मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि व्हाट इज अ फ्रेज। Phrase is a group of words. What is a phrase? What is the definition of a phrase? Phrase is a group of words without subject and verb. Okay. Phrase is a group of words without subject and verb which makes sense, but it makes some sense, but it does not make complete sense. To get a complete sense, the group of word needs to contain both subject and verb. Then only we get a complete sentence. How? I will give one example. The sun in the east. For example, the sun in the east. This is a group of words. What is this? The sun in the east. This is a group of words without verb. Okay, we have sun. The sun is subject, but there is no verb. It makes some sense, but it does not make any. But it does not make complete sense. So to have a complete sense, we need one verb, one or other verb in this sentence. Then only we get a complete meaning. For example, the sun rises in the east. Now this is a clause. What is this? This is a clause. This is, now it makes sense, right? Why? Because we get complete meaning. In the second group of words we get complete meaning, but here we don't get complete meaning. Here we get only partial meaning, right? Not complete meaning. So the sun is subject, rises is verb, main verb, in the east. And what is the in the east? It is phrase, phrase, right? This is a group of words. In the east is a group of words which makes sense, but it does not make complete sense. So this is a phrase, and also it is functioning as which kind of phrase? Adverb phrase. Adverb phrase, because it indicates place. It indicates place. Where does the sun rise? In the east, right? So it is an adverb phrase, not noun phrase or adjective phrase. There are now three types of phrases. For example, they are like noun phrase, adverb phrase, and adjective phrase. But here it is this in the east is adverb phrase because it is acting as an adverb. This group is acting as an adverb. It is functioning as an adverb of place. I hope you understood what is a phrase. Okay, so you can find a phrase in a clause, but you cannot find a clause in a phrase. Correct? Yes, a clause is larger than a phrase. What is larger than a phrase? A clause is larger than a phrase, and phrase is smaller than clause. Right? So you can find a clause, or a phrase can be found in a clause, but clause cannot be found in a phrase. Right? So phrase is the smallest unit among these three. So this is smallest, right? Phrase is the smallest unit among these three. Okay. Now I will tell, this is a clause. What is this? Is the example of clause. CLAUSE. This is the example of clause, and within a clause we have a phrase. Okay. Yes, understood. Now I will tell you what is a sentence. Now look at the example. For example, the birds flew away when the hunter or when the gunman shot shot in the air. This is a sentence. Okay. Now in this sentence we have two clauses. How many clauses? Look at the sentence carefully, my dear students, my dear friends. Okay, here in this is a long sentence, and this is a long sentence, and this is what kind of sentence? This is complex sentence. Complex sentence example. This is the example of complex sentence. Okay, why it is complex sentence? Because it contains two clauses, one main clause and another subordinate clause. How? Look at the sentence. The bird is the subject of the main clause. Flew is the main verb, right? Away, that is away is what? That is adverb. That is adverb of place, right? Okay. So this is adverb. So the first clause ends here. This is main clause. Which clause? Main clause. When this is and when is what? This is subordinating conjunction. And the gunman is another subject of subordinating conjunction. The gunman is the subject of subordinating clause. This is main clause and this is subordinating. From here, subordinate clause starts after the word when, right? Because subordinate clause always starts with the subordinating conjunction. So here when is the subordinating conjunction. So from this, whatever the rest of the part of the sentence is, what it is called subordinate clause. So gunman is the subject of subordinate clause, and shot is verb. It is main verb, right? And in the air, again it is phrase. Phrase, right? Phrase. And which kind of phrase? Adverb phrase. This is adverb phrase. Okay. I hope you understood, right? So what is the minimum requirement of a clause? Clause requires one subject plus predicate. Predicate is equal to what? Clause. This is the definition of a clause, right? So every clause requires one subject and one predicate. Predicate contains verb. You can also write here verb, right? Yes, predicate is a part of the sentence. Remaining part of the clause containing verb, right? It is called predicate. So whatever remains after verb, it is called predicate. Yes. So according to this rule, these two parts, the birds flew away, this is a clause. Why? Because the birds is the subject and flew is the verb. That is, the part after birds is called predicate, right? Flew away till up to here. Okay. And when the gunman, actually this when is a subordinating conjunction. It connects main clause and subordinate clause together. This is subordinating conjunction. The gunman is the subject of subordinate clause. Shot is the main verb. That is, shot in the air. It is called predicate of the subordinate clause, right? Understood? So they meet the requirement of the clause, subject plus predicate, or verb plus verb. So both of them are clauses. The first one is main clause. Why it is a main clause? Because it can stand on its own. It doesn't require subordinate clause to make its meaning complete. Okay. Even without subordinate clause, the meaning of the first clause is complete. For example, the birds flew away, and if you put full stop here, still we get a complete meaning. The main clause doesn't depend on the subordinate clause to make its meaning. But the subordinate clause, when the gunman shot in the air, it doesn't make any sense without main clause. To make its meaning clear, the subordinate clause requires main clause. So the subordinate clause depends on the main clause. Main clause doesn't depend on the subordinate clause to make its meaning complete. Okay. So this is the difference between main clause and subordinate clause. I hope you understood. So here this is main clause. This is subordinate clause. The gunman shot in the air. And again in the subordinate clause we have one phrase. In the air. This is a phrase. In the air. From in to up. From in to here. This is a phrase. So you can find a phrase in a clause and clause in a sentence. So in this way, sentence is a larger term. Sentence contains both clauses and phrases. Yes, sentence contains many clauses and many phrases, but phrase cannot contain clause and sentence, right? I hope you understood the clear-cut difference between between sentence, phrase and clause. Yes, if you have any doubt, please you can ask me on the mobile number given in this video in the end. Okay. Yes. So do you want more examples of this? I can give you more examples. One more example is, can I rub this? Okay, I will rub this. If you want, you can take the snapshot of this. Okay, I will give one more example. For example, another example is, a horse was running on the street. A horse was running on the street. In this example, a horse is subject, was running is verb part, was is helping verb, running is main verb. Okay, on the street, this is called phrase, right? These words on the street is what? Yes, on the street is what? This part is called phrase, 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 because it is a group of words which is supportive to the sentence. It makes some meaning, some sense, but it does not make complete sense. I hope you understood, right? So in this way, you can find a phrase in a clause, but you cannot find a clause in a phrase. Means phrase is the part of clause, right? Understood? Even without phrase, the meaning is complete. A horse was running, and if we put a full stop here, still we get meaning. The phrase is not compulsory for a clause to make its meaning. It is supportive, complementary. Understood? Yes. So a horse was running on the street. So in this example, on the street is what? It is a phrase, and a horse was running on the street. This is the example of clause, right? This is the example of what? This is the example of clause. Clear? Is it clear? I hope this is clear and you understood. And I already gave you one example of what? Sentence. Sentence is a larger term. It contains both what? It contains both clause and a phrase. You can find both clauses and phrases within a sentence. Yes, my dear students, I hope you understood. So in this way, we can identify what is a clause, what is a sentence, and what is a phrase. So let us stop here for today. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. We will meet soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.